Alright, we're going to put the stator back on. Wires go through there. That notch is going to be straight up and down with the other line already imprinted on the motor. I just noticed some red jelly goo. Might as well wipe that off because it ain't going to dry, and all it's going to do is collect that black magnetic dust this thing creates, so easier to clean up next time. So we're going to reinstall the stator plate. Here's the old Phillips head bolt that it came with, which I think is garbage because they just strip out. So pick up some M6 16 millimeters. These will do you a lot better because they ain't going to strip when you go to take them in or out. If you want to throw a washer on there, go ahead. I think I'm going to because I have some, but if you don't have any washers, I wouldn't worry about it. Handy little tool for this, 1/4 inch nut driver, 10 millimeter socket, my new hex nut lock washer. So it actually ended up being easier just with my fingers. The problem is the hex nut falls down in there too far because there's not a lot of meat left by the time you get it on there. But anyways, our notches are lined up perfectly. Good to see. Give this another shot because I literally can't get my fingers in there. Magnet hitting the socket, that's always fun. One more on the bottom. Snug them nice and tight. Just watch out as you're tightening them that your lineup mark, your notch up at the top doesn't move, because I actually had to redo this whole thing, take the grommet out, pop the plate out. If you do need to do that, take the grommet out over here and then shove a fat screwdriver through there and pop the plate out and start over. But yeah, pain in the butt. So just watch that line up mark at the top. I can already feel it moving right now. As you go to tighten her down, just make sure it doesn't move, because it'll most likely try to. There's a better view for you. So same thing with the back plate. I don't like Polaris's Phillips head. They just strip like garbage. So got a hex set up you want to do it yourself, there you go. M5 0.8 times 25 mil, little lock washer and a flat washer. Bada boom, bada bang. Let's figure out where our hole's at. Sink that baby in there. 1, 2, 3. Now let's figure out what milli we need to drive them babies. I'm gonna guess an 8. Good smokies. 8 it is. Alright, now we're going to put our flywheel on. The thing to notice with this is there's a keyway. So you need that notch there to line up with that notch there. Don't be afraid to wiggle it off and double check. You can also turn the engine over just to get it straight up and down. There we go. Take your fat washer, slide that on first. Then your nut. .22 millimeter. Once you get it torqued down as much as you can with a basic impact, you can either go to the electric impact or you can try to torque. I'm going to try to torque and see what we get. Manual says to use a chain wrench or a strap wrench to hold this tight while you torque it with a torque wrench 60 foot-pounds. But I'm going to go ahead and put this pulley on. Hopefully I don't bend it. My plan is to stick a fat screwdriver through there and hold that using a strap wrench because I don't have one of those. There's my setup. See how she goes. 60 foot-pounds. So what I found out is that the DeWalt impact driver already got it to 60 foot-pounds, so because the torque wrench immediately clicked when I torqued on it, so really no need to use a torque wrench if you impact it in with something like this and just trust that it's tight enough. You could even go with the Mac Daddy plug-in impact wrench that we use to take it off, but yeah, I think the DeWalt is sufficient. So alright, we're going to go ahead and put our water pump on. Make sure you got an O-ring on there. Just press it into the hole. Might take a little bit of wiggling. Definitely going to be a nice tight seal. There we go. For bolts, you want to make sure that you use the bolts that don't have threads all the way. The all the way threaded bolts are for these three, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. These two with only threads about half the way, those are the two you want to use for your water pump. $12mm. We're just going to get it finger tight, then we're going to throw our belt on. We're going to be able to adjust it with this one over here, so. Yeah, leave it loose. Grab your new belt. Or the old belt. That's how you're going to roll. Bring it down all the way so I can get it on there. Might have to take some stretching, as you can see. Make sure your bolts are loose. And give it a little tappy tap. Whatever gives you the most stretch. Just had to double check the belt because it seems awfully tight, but we'll make it work. It was about the same size as the old one, so I think it's the same belt, just new, so it's a bit tighter. Let's take our screwdriver and see if we can stretch her on there. Alright, let's try putting it on this first. Oh, there we go. Alright, so yeah, learn from me. Put it on this pulley first, and then your top one. There we go. Now it's a little too loose, so now you want to take your mallet again, bring this up. Looks pretty good. Now the recoil assembly, easy peasy. 3 bolts, screws, what have you. 12mm.